You're scrolling, reading, watching, and you think you're just informed. But what if I told you that almost everything you believe right now wasn't chosen by you? The news you see, the outrage you feel, even the arguments you make, someone else wrote the script. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the narrative is controlled and how to stop being a character in someone else's story. This isn't about conspiracy theories. It's about psychology. Because the most powerful weapon in 2026 isn't information, it's selective information. And the people who control what you see control what you think is true. Let's talk about the psychology of narrative control and how to take your mind back. Number 1, the illusion of choice. You're not deciding, you're just selecting. Here's the first trick. You think you're making decisions, but really, you're just choosing from a menu someone else designed. Let me show you how this works. Imagine you're scrolling the news. You see 2 headlines. Protesters clash with police in city streets versus police crack down on peaceful demonstration. Same event, 2 completely different realities. And here's the thing. You don't notice the framing. You just absorb it. This is called agenda-setting theory. The media doesn't tell you what to think. It tells you what to think about. And once your attention is hijacked, your emotions follow, your beliefs follow, your decisions follow. The scariest part? You feel like you came to the conclusion yourself. Number 2, repetition creates reality. The truth becomes what you hear most. Let me tell you a story. In the 1930s, a propagandist named Joseph Goebbels said, "Repeat a lie often enough, and it becomes the truth." Dark, but true. Because your brain doesn't evaluate information based on accuracy. It evaluates it based on familiarity. This is called the illusory truth effect. When you hear something once, you question it. Twice, you consider it. 3 times, you start to believe it. 10 times, it feels obvious. And in 2026, we're not hearing things 10 times. We're hearing them hundreds. The same talking points, the same outrage, the same fears, repeated across platforms, personalities, and echo chambers. And slowly, quietly, your brain mistakes repetition for truth. You stop asking, "Is this real?" and start asking, "Why is everyone talking about this?" But here's what they don't tell you. Everyone isn't talking about it. A few people are, loudly, on repeat. Number 3, emotional hijacking. They're not informing you, they're triggering you. Let's get real for a second. Why do you remember certain headlines, but forget others? Because the ones you remember made you feel something. Anger, fear, disgust, shock. This is called emotional priming, and it's the most effective tool in narrative control. Here's how it works. When you read something that triggers a strong emotion, your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases. Your critical thinking shuts down. You're not analyzing anymore. You're reacting. And in that state, you're easy to control. Think about the last time you were outraged online. Did you fact check before you shared? Did you ask who benefits from your anger? Or did you just feel it and spread it? The truth is, outrage is profitable. Clicks, shares, engagement. And the people controlling the narrative know this. They're not asking, "Is this accurate?" They're asking, "Will this make them angry enough to share?" Number 4, the invisible edit. What you don't see controls you more than what you do. Let me give you an example. A politician gets caught in a scandal. One news outlet runs it as the top story. Another buries it on page 6. Another doesn't mention it at all. 3 audiences, 3 completely different understandings of reality. And here's the scariest part. You can't be outraged by something you never see. In 2026, the most dangerous form of control isn't censorship. It's selective silence. They don't need to lie to you. They just need to decide what you never hear about. And when entire perspectives, voices, or facts are quietly erased, you think you're informed, but you're only seeing half the picture. The truth no one wants to hear. So what do? How do you stop being controlled? It starts with one uncomfortable question. Who benefits from me believing this? Not, is this true? Not, does this feel right? But who wins if I think this way? Follow the incentives, follow the money, follow the power. And then seek out what you're not being shown. If every source is saying the same thing, that's not consensus, that's coordination. Go looking for the dissenting voices, the ignored data, the stories that don't fit the narrative. Not because they're automatically right, but because you deserve the full picture. Here's the bottom line. You're not paranoid for questioning what you're told. You're awake. The narrative will always be controlled by someone. The question is, will you let them control yours? In 2026, the most dangerous thing you can do is assume you already know the truth. The most powerful thing you can do, keep asking questions. If this video made you think, share it, subscribe, and leave a comment with one belief you're reconsidering. Because the people who control the narrative are terrified of people who think for themselves. Be one of them.